We're halfway through our experience here at Oak Haven. This is the time I'd like to have a little one-on-one with each person. I'd like to find out how their experience is going here, what they're learning, and what they need.
When I hear that bell, everything else stops. It's almost like saying me time. Now it's time to go into myself. And I love it. I really got to get one of those.
Julie, what do you think about the bell?
The bell reminds me to stop for just a minute and catch my breath. Sort of like Oak Haven is. This is a place where you can catch your breath.
Tell me what's going on.
I love Oak Haven. Everyone's so friendly. I was a little apprehensive about how people would look at me, and I felt kind of shy, and I wanted to kind of go into my little corner, but that won't last long because it's just not my personality. I have to speak, I have to let it out. But I was welcomed, and you brought me in with open arms, and it just automatically helped me put down that wall and show who I was.
You're completely different than when you got here. I remember you pelting out of your beautiful BMW with your gorgeous clothes and coming in and going, and now I'm seeing this profound, almost like an ocean wave of you, coming and going and continually getting deeper. I have to be honest with you, I've been really surprised at how you've also emerged as a leader here. So what's going on with you?
And at first you have a little bit of anxiety about the anticipation of the unknown. And then once being here, it's just such a beautiful place, and everybody's so nice and friendly, and it's re-energizing my spirituality, I believe. You know, it's you're getting away from the motorcycles and the telephone poles and the airplanes and the noise and the traffic and all that. I think it's making you realize what's important in life. The problem is, after I leave here, to keep that importance in life going.
How's it going?
It's going great. I can't tell you how different I feel. I guess the camaraderie and the eating right and getting up in the morning, and just realized how happy I can be without partying or craziness or just everything. It's very, very peaceful.
You're surrounded by huge amounts of beauty, and there are no boundary kinds of fences, and it helps me put things in perspective. And listening to some of the things that other people are sharing this weekend, gosh, what a huge epiphany at the age of 48, you know? That it's perspective, and it's just gotten way out of whack for me.
You've been here 2 days, and I've seen this flower open.
Gosh, the property, the farm, it's just so serene for me, and it's just kind of just giving my brain a chance to unravel itself. So it's really nice. I haven't thought about a bill. I haven't thought about a job. I've been just focusing on me and trying to find me. So it's definitely happening. I mean, it's not as cloudy as it was. Before it was so cloudy that I could not even think.
And some of the things that you've said so far have really meant a lot. Helped me examine myself and my own thinking, and what you shared at one point, how worrying is related to the addictive centers of our brain, and that it's something that we do to we trigger it ourselves. And I need to be aware of that and be cognizant of the fact that I am causing almost like an addictive response. So I'm trying to be more aware of that.
I think we women kind of look at worry as part of our identity.
And it is part of the female nature, but I think that you can gain some control over it if it's something that's, you know, if you're intentional.
So my thing about worry is it's pretty much negative guided imagery. Because if your brain believes what you're thinking on the positive side, then why wouldn't it necessarily believe what you think on the negative side?
92% of the things we worry about never happen to us. So that I keep rehearsing this wisdom in my mind, to try to remember it, so that when I'm in the carpool line, instead of stressing out, I can have a moment of, imagery and try to be in control of it.
Give me some attention. What's wrong? I'm sorry, nobody showing you any love? Don't eat my finger with it. You know, ripped a hole all in the ground. You wanna go do that for?
Have you been around horses before?
I love horses, I really, really do. And really being able to just have that hands-on and touch him, I wanted to be out there every minute of the day. Because he seems so free.
Free.
He seems so free. And I really admire that about him. I was drawn to that.
To his freedom. And probably 1,200 pounds of pure power.
Right, and beauty.
And beauty.
I tend to be somewhat withdrawn. I can be very social. But then I go back into me. I always feel like society was so judgmental. I came here, I took a chance, and I said, they're going to just have to take me as I am. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend to be something that I'm not.
We don't always make the best choices for ourselves. For me, it's been reminded that I like, nature and the country and being around a group of friends in not necessarily a party environment, but...
When you connect with yourself, Kevin, everything about you changes. It's not just about being at Oak Haven or being away. The whole thing that we have to teach people is mindfulness is about every day and learning how to make small lifestyle changes that can change your life.
I do love everybody because I think we're all God's creatures. And who am I to judge people? People live in glass houses, sit and throw stones, and there's a lot of cliches. My family said, you can count your friends on one hand, which is true. I didn't believe them at the time, less is more. I didn't believe that either, but that's true. Then you see friends get sick and, going to pass away, and you're going, all those, the cars and the jobs and, didn't matter after all. It's about good friends and good food and good health. And I guess I need some positive reinforcement in my life, and it needs to come from people around me.
Wow, these are beautiful horses.
Yeah.
Well, yes, thank you. Welcome to our farm and coming and working with us with our horses.
Yeah, I'm Bruce. How are you? Good to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
Hey, I'm Renee.
Renee, good to have you with us. When you love on a horse or groom a horse or lay up against them or listen to them, their heart rates are very slow. So you kind of get in rhythm with that, and as your heart rate kind of gets in rhythm with their heart rate, if you lay your ears on them, your chest, sometimes you'll hear their heart. The truth is, for us, the statistics show the lower the heart rate, the longer you live. So the lower our heart rate, like you lower the blood pressure. Right. The lower your blood pressure, the longer you live.
Now you got me excited.
That's right, we do. Stand close to the horse.
Right.
And just pull this down him. He likes it, it scratches him. One thing it does is stimulate endorphins in him. You'll see just a little bitty hair coming off of him there. And these, like I said, these are very gentle guys, so they don't mind you brushing on them. They want you to.
Okay.
Even a mane, they like that. They shed even some of that, so then you can brush them. All right, I'll let you work. She just needs a brush mainly. Yeah, that's great.
That's good babies.
And she likes it. And if you notice them, as you get to brushing them, most of the time their heads will drop low, and it's because they're getting relaxed. And it's amazing, the more you do that too, you'll be surprised. You'll get more relaxed. As her blood pressure and pulse go down, your blood pressure and pulse go down, and then you've got a heck of a health benefit right there.
Great. Well, that's good.
For each person that I'm meeting with, I've spent a lot of time thinking of a word that I wanted to give them, that I thought might help them as they prepare to leave Oak Haven. And as I've watched you through these last days with the immense changes in you, and I see this new you emerging that you're actually fertilizing and paying attention to, the word has to be joy. It is a spiritual word. It is a divine word. It is the word of the holy. It's like the seed that was in you from before your birth that was so powerful that you felt you had to manage it. And up here for these days you thought, I don't have to manage anything. I get to get that watering can to this seed of joy and pour all the water and fertilizer and light that I can on it. My word for you is commitment. Commitment.
Okay.
You emulate what needs to be in the world.
Well, thank you.
And what I see, though, is you come here and do that in your pure state. Before you leave here, I'm wishing for you, because you'll be here for a few more days, is I hope that you can have a commitment to the practices. And think of it as, what's practice mean? Practicing.
Right.
You practice till our last breath. When you're on your last breath, and you're laying there, sitting there, and you're to go to the next realm, you can sit there and smile and go, I committed to practicing this, and my life is different. So if I had to name one word that I would want to give you before you left is confidence. But I really believe in the amazing power of new beginnings and learning new ways to live. And I think your greatest part of your life is ahead of you.
Well, y'all have done an amazing job on them. They're back to looking like ladies and gentlemen now. Well, thank y'all for coming down and being with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We enjoyed having you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. We are very grateful. And these guys are very grateful.
One of the biggest issues has been fear of the future, anxiety about your future, what that looks like. Tell me about that.
I met my husband at 18, and he was 13 years older than me. So I don't know what my adult life will look like without him taking care of me financially and playing a part in the decisions of just normal life decisions. So, you know, I have to be a big girl and make my own money and make my own decisions. Will I be able to do the things that I need to do? Am I smart enough? Can I handle it? Can I do it? Well, what if I make a mistake? What if I can't get a job? What if I can't?
What if?
Right, the what ifs.
It really teaches you about worry, that you really have to surrender to ebbs and flows of nature.
Surrender.
Yeah.
Surrender.
That may be the best mantra you can do right now is surrender. In the Western world, we think of the word surrender as defeat. We think of it as someone over us. I can't surrender. The ancients and in the early church, surrender was the most powerful thing you could do because it means freedom. You said that you were the queen of everything. It just stopped me in my tracks.
Yeah.
Tell me what that means to you.
The guy that I work with, he says, you don't even realize how much you're in control of. And so it kind of started out as a joke. And at first I laughed about it. That was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Now it's not quite so funny because I'm beginning to see that the more you think you're controlling things, the more you're so not. For me, queen of everything is a big indicator that I need to step backwards. I don't want to be queen of everything.
One of the things we may want to talk about is how to get you out of that bedroom, because we need to change what is going on inside your brain and inside your heart and inside your soul. And the only way we're going to do that is to tether you out of that bedroom.
I barely even go outside of my bedroom to eat. I hardly ever leave that place.
I think that you're going to have more of a concrete calendar schedule. And so sometimes we have to retrain the brain and retrain our soul and do the action first. Not feeling it, not wanting to do it, but I have to do it.
I know that I really have to set my mind to it and do it. I just have to do it.
There's a real pivotal time in your life right now where you're going to shift maybe from the cave and the darkness into a whole new realm of hope.
I am really looking forward to that. I really am.
Hey, Troops!
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Hi. This is the canine quarter. If you guys don't mind today, boy, we could sure use some help with washing some of the dogs.
Sure.
So, somebody want to take Emma?
I'll take it.
She's a handful and has an attitude.
Okay. You're thirsty. What a good girl, Lily.
Imagine a Jack Russell with an attitude and a girl. And service is really important. It doesn't take that much. Like I tell a lot of people, whether they have companies or a family like you have two children, you can just go once a month or once every couple weeks down to a shelter. And even if you help wash cages or wash dishes or, lay out the food, what you do is you save them a lot of money and they don't have to put down as many animals.
What a good girl. What a good girl. Oh, she's loving that.
Really good.
Oh, she's gonna go roll in the
That's her skin. But we've had our talk since we've been up here at Oak Haven. I've had a one-on-one with everybody. And what I decided to do was give everyone a word that I really had meditated on each person. I spent a lot of time listening to you all and observing you with people as you've walked and talked and laughed and ate and played. And what my word for you that came up for Ronnie was freedom. Freedom. There's nothing for you to worry about. You've dotted your I's and crossed your T's. It's time to open those cell doors. You're free. And when I kept thinking of you, Keisha, I thought of the word hope. Hope. Because the thing about depression in that cave is its hopelessness. It's trapped hopelessness. And then we can almost become addicted or feel a comfort level in the mire of it after being here at Oak Haven and sharing in the groups and talking about what goes on here and the friends you've met and nature. It said, wake up, don't you think? There's been a wake-up call with Keisha. I've seen it in everything you've done. And in that wake-up, I think I can almost hear those beautiful birds outside of your window that wake you up. I think I can almost hear them saying, hope, Keisha, hope. And so as I was thinking of a word that maybe will guide you or be a beacon of your experience here, the word I would love to give you is play. If you could have seen your face, your body, the way that everybody reacted to you, including the dogs and that huge, massive oak tree we called Mother, that every time you were playful, it was amazing. We're going to let the bell lead us out of silence back into the world as different people. So here we go.
This is Renee, and I thought I would put a few of my thoughts on tape of what I've gained insight on from this trip. You know, I think a lot of people take their lives for granted and don't realize just how blessed they really are. We get so caught up in the motions and the everyday cycles of life, we ignore the simplicity that makes it so beautiful. Like this lake and the sound of the birds. Sometimes we make bad decisions and it can really affect our lives. It might be the energy that you put out into the world that brought that back to you. We get caught up in responsibility and the everyday trials and tribulations, and it can get very distracting to stay on course. And those are the things that lead to stress. You know, what we have to learn to do is stop and, like they say, smell the roses. And I know that I haven't done that as much as I should in life. Sometimes you don't just push it out into the world. What you have to do first is internalize it, reflect, and then release. I never really internalized, reflected, and released. I just tried to get that anger and that stress and that sadness out of my system as quickly as possible in the only ways that I knew. I'm gonna alleviate a lot of my stresses when I get back home. I'm gonna eliminate some people from my life who don't mean me any good, who only project negative energy. I'm gonna really sit down and focus. What do I want? Who am I? What do I need? Those are the type of questions I want to start asking myself. Now I'm going to work on me. And that's something I don't think I've ever really done, is really just work on me. Yeah. That's going to be where I start off. So, this is what life should be about. Reflection, peace, happiness, fulfillment. And I'm gonna find that. Wish me luck.
Coming up next on Alter Your Life. This fire can take whatever we need to leave with it and hold it for us.
Adios.